about marketing, the famous subject of marketing. And if I'm a little provocative tonight, don't mind me. That's how I am. And my challenge in Zimbabwe was to speak about how to put the sizzle back in marketing. But the challenge arose because fundamentally, there's a very provocative article where, if you look in the chat window, several years ago, some people had argued that marketing was all about sizzle, and where on earth was the sausage? At that time, the challenge was that the obsession with sizzle meant that marketers were seeking salvation in what was called the emotional side of branding. And the argument was that the emotional side of branding refused to take into account the quality of the product, the quality of the service, and all we sought to do was create emotional bonds with customers. So, confronted with that challenge, I thought, okay, my initial brief was to speak about sizzle. So I had to start with sizzle. So what I did was that I spoke to some good friends of mine, like Cecil, like my friend Joel, like my friend Esilfua, Eko Thompson. And I asked them to tell me what they thought sizzle was in the context of marketing campaigns. So they said sizzle included things like pursuing cost marketing campaigns. And that, for what it's worth, marketing today is not carried out just for the sake of marketing. And so they said marketing had to also happen through great marketplace activations. Marketing had to engage with real people. Marketing had to do music and pump. They said things like, nowadays you have to integrate social media into marketing campaigns. Now, for those of you who are here who are not marketing people, let me pause for 2 minutes and tell you what marketing is about. Marketing itself was given birth to sometime in the 1940s, and marketing was born from economics. Now, marketing today, if you speak about scholarship or speak about practice, we still take our inspiration from economics, from sociology, from psychology, from finance. So a good marketing person, scholar or practitioner, is somebody who has very deep roots in all these allied fields in order to combine them to execute marketing at a very, very high level. So when it was conceptualized at first, it was in a product dispensation. So at that time, we said marketing succeeds when there's a great product that is promoted excellently, that is distributed appropriately, and that is priced right. So at that time, we had what we call the 4 Ps: product, price, place, promotion. In the 50s and the 60s, marketing moved on into what we called a service marketing era. It has metamorphosed, and now we are doing things like the relationship economy. We are doing service dominant logic. And in the last 3, 4, 5 days, every marketing academic is publishing a new paper on marketing and the metaverse. It's like the hottest thing now. So marketing keeps evolving, metamorphosing. So from 4 Ps, we went to 7 Ps, and we said marketing was not product, price, place, promotion, fiscal evidence, processes, and people. For those of you who don't have a marketing background, what that meant was that apart from a great product that was promoted well, that was priced appropriately, that was distributed appropriately, which is the place, marketers also needed good people. So marketing involves human beings who deliver the marketing service, and then consumers who consume the marketing service. So marketing people meant from the marketers themselves to individual consumers, to business consumers, to government consumers, to digital consumers. Any type of consumer was subsumed under the people element. Then you had fiscal evidence, which is where the marketing activity is actually done. So in a supermarket, in a bank, in a banking hall. Then processes refers to all the back-end transactions that take place for the good or service delivered at the front end. So all your IT and your automation. So that was the 7 Ps. Now, if you Google marketing, you can get 10 Ps, you can get 9 Ps. I remember I wanted to write a new book two weeks ago. So I was thinking of 10 Ps. But let's come back to what my friends told me. They said sizzle in marketing meant you have the right engagement. You are doing social media, TikTok, Twitter Spaces. You are using great pre-campaign teasers. You are using influencers. Music and dance still matter. And I noticed across Africa, music and dance totally matter. Then we are telling our own story. And then we are reaching out to the famous Gen Z, the younger generation. I remember in Zimbabwe, we were told the attention span is 8 to 9 seconds. So we also need quality audiovisual representation. This one in particular came from my friend Cecil, who was the DSTV boss for years. So he speaks about things like surf waves in Sierra Leone, the Kilimanjaro. I was at Victoria Falls when I went to Zimbabwe, places like Zanzibar, the Masamara, gorillas in Rwanda, our unique wildlife, anything that distinguishes Africa and makes us a unique selling proposition and pushes our marketing campaign efforts, my colleague said we should exploit. Okay, we should build photo stocks of African cities, define who our target market is, and so on and so forth. We should use things like Buga, Ampiano, Afrobeat, African narratives, and I think this came from my particularly good friend, Eko Thompson. Eko Thompson argued that if African narratives are curated properly, they have immense global appeal. So if we shun mediocrity and improve the standards regarding content production, it will push the Pan-African marketing effort. So these are my friends. Then some too said, sometimes the problem with marketing in Africa is that we don't have good data. So we find that because of poor insights, we do hit and miss. We try and see. So sometimes we generalize marketing campaigns for 10 African countries because the insights tend to be weak. Language also presents a big challenge. So issues around Francophone, Lusophone, Anglophone, and issues around pidgin. So the argument was that marketers might find ways of landing campaign messages, factoring in the language barriers. So this was about sizzle. Now, I told you that in concluding, therefore, these insights meant that if we had to have sizzle in marketing, it had to be data-driven, context relevant, technology relevant, lots of music, lots of photos, lots of sites, deployed in the most creative ways. Now, the sizzle I've just described, my dear colleagues, refers to largely the promotion element in the marketing mix. So this is largely marketing communications. But my brief was to speak about marketing as a global concept, not just marketing communications alone. So my argument in Zimbabwe was that if we wanted to see real sizzle in marketing, we couldn't restrict it only to the marketing communication conversations. It couldn't only be about TikTok or ambient media or the metaverse or billboards or radio ads. But as marketers, I want to challenge you tonight, as I challenge them in Zimbabwe, that we need a fundamental rethink about the role of the subject, the role of marketers in really pushing Africa's agenda forward. Let me share a small anecdote. 2 days ago, I was driving to work and I felt extremely frustrated. Why was I frustrated? I was frustrated because this beloved country, Ghana, I belong to, is in a particularly challenging economic quagmire. Depreciation, things are expensive, petrol is high, IMF came, we want people, we don't want people. So I started looking on my phone and I started looking for economists. All my friends in this life were economists. The first guy I found was a guy called Frank. He's at KNUS. I said, Frank, are you there? I said, yeah, Prof, I'm there. I said, Frank, I have a problem. Let me talk to you. He said, what is it? I said, Frank, you, this economist, you're on radio and TV every day, balance of trade, balance of payment, depreciation, something, stock, something over borrowing, something, all this your big English. I have a problem, sir. I said, Prof, what is it? I said, My problem is that when I take Ghana's economic quagmire and I listen to the finance minister today reading his 7-point agenda for metamorphosing this country and pushing for sustainable debt levels, I am thinking that all these are problems. Me, in my mind, if I simplify the issues, 98% are marketing problems. My colleagues, let me explain. And please, I'm not a politician. I'm just a marketing student. Let me explain. Number one, today the president said, for instance, that he set aside some money to go and do some export promotion, something. We are going to some countries. When we get there, we'll export more, we'll make money. Clearly, that is export marketing problem. Then we say things like, we are borrowing to finance, borrowing to finance. Borrowing is the commonest word in Africa when it comes to what governments do. We borrow, 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 borrow. Now saying that, every time I tell my wife that me, I'm borrowing advice. I don't understand loan. So I try as much as I can to conduct myself in such a way that my expenses largely mirror my inflows. So I find this fixation on borrow, 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 a simple discussion around the fact that you are spending far more than you earn. Now, so here's the thing for me. So if you want to earn more, let's say you build your export capacity to the point where now you are making $20 billion and you are spending $18 billion. How will you owe? I was telling my friend in KNUST that Harvard University ran a 5-year campaign, 2013 to 2018. Harvard University was looking to raise $6.5 billion. When the campaign ended, Harvard had raised $9.8 billion. One university in America. They raised $9.8 billion in 5 years. I was in America myself, in the flesh, blood flowing, when a guy called Paulson gave Harvard 400 million US, one alum, one human being, one man. He gave Harvard $400 million. Now, if one university can raise $9.8 billion in a year, why is the whole country looking to beg for $3 billion? How? Wait, so one university can raise 3 times through fundraising, marketing. I remember 2 brothers from Hong Kong gave $375 million. Me, I was in the University of North Texas in Denton 10 years ago, when a guy from Thailand gave UNT $20 million. So I was telling my friend in KNST that, so wait, let's say all public universities, we take VCs on a mandatory marketing immersion course. When they come back, they are all born again. Suddenly, we are exporting education services. Suddenly, we are becoming like Australia. Suddenly, we are making billions of dollars from education export. Why would you need government subvention to build infrastructure? You wouldn't. So I was telling my friend that maybe me, because I'm not very educated, I think marketing, it's like the answer to a lot of lack of money, lack of money, lack of money. But I digress. Look, let me go on. Listen, marketing itself, now you can't use old school techniques. This 4P thing I was talking about is from 40, 50 years ago. Please, I came here to make a simple submission to you tonight. That nowadays, marketing excellence necessarily represents a pivot towards customer experience and a pivot towards customer management excellence. Why is that the case? Because today we have particularly demanding consumers. So if you sit somewhere in Kigali or Harare or somewhere in Kotobabi, and then in your mind, you've done some tremendous analysis, some research agency has brought you some excellent data. So you assume that a lady called Irabna will necessarily buy your phone. No, she wouldn't. She gets into the shop, meets a rude attendant, walks out, takes a phone, orders the phone from Amazon. When she looks at the cost there plus the shipping, it's still cheaper than the one in your shop. Why would she buy from you? So guys, ladies, I want to respectfully submit to you. In this digital disruptor age, demanding consumer age, fierce competition age, please, That complacency is gone. It's totally gone. And now that the pandemic came, it forced all of us to become innovative. So here's what's happening. Tech is pushing. The world is much smaller now. Everybody is on their phones. So the choices available to customers are incredibly wide. So please, the traditional modes of conducting marketing, brief to brief, campaign to campaign, and just focusing on the mundane issues, that is old school. And if you're a marketer here and you're in that mode, I want to respectfully submit to you, it's time to transition. Now, what's the new marketing? The new marketing, my dear colleagues, puts customers at the center of everything. So in the old dispensation, we're set up to make and push products. The new marketing is essentially customer driven. So the pulse of the customer dictates 100% what we do in order to more than address their needs, but create stronger and stronger value propositions so they keep consuming us over and over and over again. So the new marketing is all about the delivery of total customer experiences. I can share with you several examples from my time in advertising 20, 25 years ago, where we spent all our money on marketing communications campaigns, and the companies crashed because of horrendous customer experiences, literally crashed. There's one particular Pan-African brand that cost $3.9 million to bring to Ghana. The customer experience was challenged. That company died a horrendous death. This is after it has spent millions of dollars doing marketing communications. So if change must happen, I want to make some submissions to you tonight. Tonight, I'm going to use the term chief marketing officer, marketing manager, sales executive, chief brand officer, all interchangeably, because I don't have too much time to begin to separate a sales executive from a distribution executive, from a trade manager, from a route to market executive. No, today I'm using marketing in a generic sense. Anybody who has into marketing, please, the message is for you tonight. Pivot number one. For marketers today, customer experience is the new battleground. My dear colleagues, the blessing of being a marketing academic in Africa is that I've seen problems in different countries from different sectors. I've done public sector, I've done private sector, I've done agency work. Look, sometimes it is shocking how people still don't get it regarding the fact that, listen. If we are going to do well in this fight, we need to have a sense that the perception of the organization matters, but the experience the customers derive is what makes the organization survive or die. So I spent the last 3-4 weeks doing multiple training sessions around customer experience, because for marketers today is the new pivot. Whether you are doing internal marketing, external marketing, export marketing, B2B marketing, international marketing, sports marketing, tourism marketing, it's all about customer experience. Now, brand building, therefore, is no longer a fixation on logos alone, jingles alone, but where the rubber meets the road, it's the experiences that ultimately build the brand, not the logo. So when I see people saying that we are going to paint the building, we are going to put up this, I just smile. In fact, let me tell you why I get jittery sometimes. When I go to launches in Africa, wow, with pomp and pageantry, with a lot of glitz, with red carpet. As they are doing the launch, I'm just saying, hey, launch experts. Even at the launch event, you find that personnel of that organization, when you ask them, so the products you are launching, what What are the key benefit bundles? How would it help me if I'm a university? The person can answer. Meanwhile, you are at the lunch in a 27-star hotel, spending $72,000 for a lunch, and the human being wearing your uniform can't tell me what the benefit bundles when I'm asking the question as a pro vice chancellor for university. Did we go or did we come? 72,000 US. Guys, I beg you. For the modern day marketer, the first pivot is customer experience is the new battleground. I beg you. It's not a debate. I've done this for 25 years. So here are my recommendations to you. Number one, develop a relationship mindset. Now, this itself is not new. Relationship marketing is 30, 40 years old as well. But here's what it is. If relationship marketing was working as well as it should, a lot of things happening today will not be happening. Yesterday, I got into a 38-minute fight with some people. Interestingly, tomorrow morning, I'm meeting them at 9. I can't wait to go for that session because I'm going to put this same argument to them that, listen, today it's about customer experience. So proactively learn about your customers' experiences and what they want them to be. Let me give you a quick insight. So February 1st, 2023 is my 20th anniversary in the academy. In the 20 years I've been an academic working in Africa and other parts of the world, I am still yet to see any alum of any university in Africa that has written a $1 million check to say, collect, go and build your university. So if I haven't seen 1 million, you're sure I've not seen 5 million, you're sure I've not seen 10 million. I can tell you without fear of being contradicted that there are graduates of African universities who are dollar millionaires and can easily write a check of $10 million to bless any university they want. The question
Prof, sorry, Prof.
Yeah.
Is it deliberate that your slides are not moving?
Oh, are they moving now or they're still not moving? Are they moving now? They are moving for me. Are you serious? Oh, Kwabna, I like you. That's why. So they've never moved or they've been moving?
They've never moved. You are still on
the first. Joking. But is it moving now?
Yeah, it's moving now. Thank you very much. You can box on.
Congratulations, Kwabna. Thank you. Okay.
Congratulations to you too. You are doing well. God bless you.
God bless you. Okay. Kwabna is my guy. He's a very interesting man. You know, I've sat on several interview panels with this famous Kwabna Jekum guy who just spoke. And
then put it in the presentation mood too, Prof.
Okay, I'll do that, sir. Thank you, Brother Kwabna. I'm on my way. Yes, sir. Please, am I on track now? Is it working, Kwabna?
It's working, but put it on full presentation mode.
Now it's on full slide mode.
Maybe the internet is slowing it down. Okay, we'll manage this at least.
Okay, thank you. So I was speaking about customer experiences and saying that, look, this thing about proactively learning about your customer experiences, please, it really matters. I mean, marketers today, you know, after all the big English, they'll ask you, where's the money? And you know, the reason why I'm talking about this so passionately is that when you take that C-suite, chief finance officer, chief technology officer, chief HR officer, chief marketer, chief information, all the chief. You see, when you enter that room and you sit down on the nice leather chair with the polished wooden tables, when everybody finishes, they say, so can you, CMO, what was happening with the revenue in the northern sector? I noticed that there's a shortfall of 12.5% for, look, the pressure is on that CMO because you see, when all is said and done, you bring the bacon home. So if you are going to succeed, this thing about customer experiences, we have to start employing what we call the collaborator CMO mindset. You are liaising with HR, you are liaising with IT, you are liaising with finance to bring them around to the singular idea that this whole entity is about customer experiences. It is so crucial because what I find, look, recently I gave some opportunity to some people to make some money somewhere. Hey, later I called the people and said, have you taken advantage? So, oh, Prof, when we went back, our general manager said, hey, I say, yeah, general manager. Hey, so sometimes the marketers are frustrated because there's a lack of appreciation of the importance of the customer in closing the deal. So there are these old school mindsets. So marketers, you have a problem, but I wish us all the best. Follow the data, follow the money. Insights still matter. Make your customers work easier too. My dear colleagues, I want to respectfully submit to you that as a head of marketing or a head of sales, you don't control everybody in the organization. But please, if you don't bring a certain sense of marketing discipline, this idea about customer experience, and instill the discipline at C-suite, middle level, and customer facing, you are going to run into trouble. Because when that receptionist is rude and the deal falls through, and you needed that $2 million to meet your quarterly target, you can't be the receptionist. In fact, you will learn 6 months after the fact that it was their rudeness that lost you the money. So please, get on their case, teach them, make them, please. And once you're making the customers work easier, make employees work easier as well. So provide the tools and the resources that actually support a move towards customer experience. Don't just pay lip service. And then finally, I'm saying close the loop between customer service and customer experience. So what I mean by this is stop thinking of service only as intermittent interventions. It must be strategic. It must permeate the whole organization. So colleagues, pivot number 1 is that customer experience, the new battleground. Pivot number 2, I'll finish very soon. You must embrace the empowered CMO collaborator mindset. Guys, I beg you, this one is a life and death issue. Because if we don't spend time educating our colleagues in the C-suite, we will struggle as a profession. So a new marketing charter requires collaboration across the entire business. It's my job as a pro vice chancellor who understands marketing to bring my vice chancellor along. It's my job to bring my registrar along. It's my job to bring my deans along, my provosts along, my HODs along. It's my job to bring those managing the Coventry programs along. It's because you see, if you don't build these collaborative pathways, you will struggle. And marketing is so difficult because as soon as you fail, they see you first. Hey, HR, you can mess up, we'll see you later. But marketing, oh, when we run the numbers, no, go for the famous NPR, your problems will start showing. So please, collaborator mindset. Work to align all the facets of the brand with the experiences and product it creates. So guys, here's what it is. In Africa, I found by experience that the making of service promises to various customer audiences is childishly easy. The follow through, the brand alignment, the discipline to ensure that what is promised is delivered is still a problem. We can only resolve this if, as a profession, we embrace the collaborator mindset, bring everybody along to this singular vision. Then use what we call culturally defining connections. Marketing is still context specific. I lived in the Gambia for like 9-10 years when my late father used to work there. Gambian culture is not Ghanaian culture. So the ability to understand cultural nuances also makes you an excellent marketer. And for a CMO with a collaborator mindset, market by market, you must use cultural discipline to build your marketing success. Now, the last one is very controversial because I see my public relations friends here. I see my advertising friends here. But guys, I love all of you. In the C-suite nowadays, marketers must emphasize customer obsession over campaign creation. Now, I'm sure you will be like, but Professor Hinson, don't we have chief customer officers? Don't we have customer service directors? Don't we have customer experience managers? We have all of them. God bless all of them. I'm saying that those functional areas must be part of what marketers are using to achieve excellent marketing outcomes. So by all means, do your $2 million campaign, but make sure that the back-end issues are fully sorted out. So that when the thing appears in daily graphic where Franklin works, I don't call on Friday and then they tell me, Press, you say what? It's what page? You're asking me what page? Look at this one. Oh. You advertise the thing. I'm calling. You say you are doing master's program. I'm calling you. I say, what page? Graphic. When? Is it today or yesterday? We say we are doing, okay. Hold on. You are doing Horon. What is Horon? Meanwhile, you are spending 500,000 CDs on the campaign. And you want to make 5 million CDs because of students who enroll. But because of a lack of customer obsession, a lack of training, a lack of a certain focus, the campaign has become a contradiction in terms. Please, campaign creation is good. But I think customer obsession should be the new way marketers are going if we are going to succeed. I'll be done very soon. So here's what it is. Discover data-driven insights that drive growth. Design the right strategies to carry out the vision in a multi-channel world. The last one is the one I like the most. My dear colleagues, I know it's difficult, but I want to beg you tonight. After struggling in public sector, I keep telling my wife that for somebody who did only 5 years in private sector, I'm still struggling to adjust after 20 years in public sector. Hey, even yesterday I was struggling. I was somewhere and they were saying that we have to train our staff so that they'll learn how to meet deadlines. I said, hey, I remember my days in Adabraka. Who was coming to train me to meet deadlines? What? Oh, Lord.
Prof, indeed, I remember Adabraka.
And my
Your
brother.
slides have stopped moving. I remember
Again,
Adabraka very well.
yeah.
And I remember our biggest show at the State House.
I remember, Pa. I was there
So,
with you.
but move the slides.
These slides, I'll share with everybody. So just believe God to listen to me so that we'll send, because the thing is worrying me. Okay, no problem. So can you see this one? This is where the action, this is what I'm going to finish. Can you see this one? This excellent table. Once we get this table, all my training has worked. The capabilities table.
No, it's not yet showing.
Oh. You see, these are the attacks from
It's showing now. I think the internet too is slow. It's showing now.
It's showing now?
Yes, it's showing now. Fantastic table.
Can you see it now? Is it showing again?
Yes, I can.
Amen. Okay, so this is the table that everybody must take home tonight. Now, these are modern marketing's new capability requirements if we are going to stay relevant and bring real value to the organizations we work for. So I'm going to discuss the elements of marketing success. I'm going to say where we are now, and I'm going to propose where we should be going. So excellent marketing still hinges on good strategy and good insights. Okay. So my dear friends, I know in Africa, sometimes it's so difficult to convince organizations to spend money on research. It's so difficult. But if you are blessed enough to have a forward-looking C-suite, my proposal is that we need to move away from limited insights, data we got from 9 months ago, to take decisions today, and move towards creating brand visions, creating marketing strategies that are informed by real-time insights and that are integrated into operations. And then watch this one, the front lines. It's so important to remember that part, the front lines, because that's where the rubber meets the road. And sometimes when we sit in our big 13-floor offices with the shiny tables, with the pinstripe suits, we forget that all the insights that are translated into the brand. You see, I was last week, if you listened to me on City, or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember something. I was speaking about something called branded customer service. And I was speaking about the 4 iterations of customer service. And I said, the first iteration is customer service as cost. You don't even know what you're doing. The second one is customer service as a necessity. The third one is customer service as competitive advantage. And I said, if you fully arrived, then you must have branded customer service, which becomes the brand in motion. So the translation of the brand is that Everything the company does is the brand in motion. The way they treat you, the way they receive you, the way they work with your distributors, the way they work with the guys in the bar, it's the brand in motion. That's why brand vision and strategy inform real-time insights. It's not just integrated into back-end operations, but it's used to empower your frontline ambassadors. That's where the blessing comes. Number 2, creative and content. We always do that as long as we live. We love our campaigns. Total blessing. So when it comes to campaigns, we do periodic campaigns, and then we do what we call believing God campaigns, not data-driven, believing God. In fact, sometimes when I speak, I have to be careful. Some of the things I see, I'm working with a client, and the client wants to do a campaign. I'm asking, how do you know that your advert here will yield this? Oh, but Prof, that's what we've been doing. I said, really? Oh, yeah. I mean, every year we do it. I said, okay, I wish you Godspeed. You know my problem with that kind of behavior? My problem is that sometimes what you can cure with a $5,000 PR campaign, you're using $500,000 outdoor campaign to cure the same thing. How does that even make sense? So please, for new marketing, it's always on content driven by analytics and data, dynamically created and augmented by information technology. That's when the blessing will come. Media and channel activation. You have radio campaign, you have TV campaign, you have social media campaign. Social media, you have a TikTok one, then you have an Instagram campaign, then you have this, you have that, everything is in silos. And then once in a while comes, okay, so across all our channels, how are we doing? Across how are we doing? So once in a while we try and optimize. Please, for the new marketer, it is what we call rapid iterated activity, 360-degree. And you see, so the communication deployments are done with a clear connection with a 360-degree view of the customer journey, because it's all about the experience. So when you are deploying your communications now, you are deploying it tied to a 360-degree view. When I talk about these things, if you like, those of you listening to, when you go to work to ask them, Prof. Hinson said he wants to see a customer journey map, the one we'll be using, but Christmas is 2022. Can you show? He said if you don't have one, show him the 2023 one. That where is your customer? So you have a route to market. You are in trade. Okay, no problem. He said apart from, he wants to see like your various customer. Have you done a customer journey mapping? Because he says you need that if you are going to do customer experience. Don't mind that man. Isn't the guy on joy? Don't mind him. It's okay. Then don't insult me. Just come back to my slides and pray that God will give people who understand these things, because I promise you, this is where marketing is at today. Customer experience. That one, I don't even have to explain it again, because it's data-driven. And you are leveraging united customer data across all interactions to allow for, listen to the word, purposeful communications. I'll repeat it. Purposeful communication. That's where market is. It's purposeful communication. So believing God is good, but having data-driven and personalized mechanisms that take a 360 view of the customer journey, that use customer data to design interactions for purposeful communications, you are in business. As for marketing ROI, I've been fighting about it for 500 years, so I don't even know I should discuss that one. Marketers, sometimes they come and attack us and say, so all the money you are spending, where is it? Please, even if you can't measure all of the marketing investments, I beg you, devise a methodology for at least measuring some components. I beg you. Tell them that for 2023, you want to do a baseline, because you don't want any talk around Easter. And that after the baseline, you do quarterly trackers for them. And the trackers, when you do them, you look at the result before you take it to them. But all in all, you need to be able to develop mechanisms for measuring your marketing investments. Product and pricing. Please, the days where you have some pricing disconnected from marketing is not the way to go. So what it is that Nominal pricing is, nobody talks about that in marketing anymore. The new paradigm is what we call value-based pricing, where when all is said and done, the cumulative service experience takeout far exceeds any price you pay for that product or service. Then we are talking. So we are looking at what we call analytically driven pricing, because you are trying to build a certain experience, which in the perception of the customer is valued far more than any price you are administering to that customer for that product or service they are consuming. Then you are arriving. This will be my last slide and I'll be done. I said that pivot 1, customer experience, is a new battleground. Pivot 2, we are supposed to have the collaborator mindset. Now, when it comes to the enablers, for organizational design and culture, we were doing business and product-centric moves. Nowadays, it's all about customer centricity. Now, look, and I hope you can see this slide, because my last one, can you see the slide? It's very important to me, this slide.
No.
Hey, it's a lie. It's a lie. Okay. Please, can you see it now?
No. Okay. Okay.
Is it? It is still not coming.
Yeah, the one that has the organizational design and culture.
Exactly. It's my last
Okay.
slide. So let me believe God and finish here so that you can ask me any question you want. Okay. So, my dear colleagues, please, as I begin to wrap up, I want to say respectfully that modern organizations now that really want to make an impact, stay profitable, they need to sort of start thinking through designing all they do to become customer-centric. And I'm making a very provocative proposal here. I'm saying that as we embrace the collaborator mindset, we need to look at an expanded breadth of marketing's role in driving growth. So we are looking at bringing everybody together from an operational standpoint to execute marketing in favor of the customer. Next issue is agility. Please, as marketers, look, if you are listening to me, you do all these things already, God bless you, sir. But if you are listening to me, you believe these are things you might consider, I invite you to really, really, really think about these things. Highly empowered, cross-functional agile teams, focus on rapid test, learn, reinvent, reiterate, execute, do well. That's the way to go. Talent management. Attract, retain, train, and upscale, and manage an interconnected agency ecosystem with best-in-class expertise. By all means, work with agencies, work with media agencies, work with creative agents, work with agents, no problem at all. But on the issue of talent, let me drop one more provocative thing and I'll end in 2 minutes. I've seen on social media in the last 3-4 months, interesting debates about, yeah, we interview some marketing people. So book long, book knowledge. You see, they don't have the professional staff. Then I also see people who say that, oh, we interview some guy. He gets SIM, he get MBA, he get PhD, he get DBA. He don't know anything. So I get confused. So wait, is it a profession that's bad? Look, there was this particular person a few months ago who was on social media blasting book-long marketers. Meanwhile, this guy, Kwabena and I met this guy recently with all his professional whatever. Hey, he got like 22% in the interview. Kwabena was smiling, 22%. And he was on social media blasting the book-long people. I say, so please, and when it comes to marketing training as well, please, I want to respectfully recommend Kwabena and his team. Because the marketing, I have bachelor's, I have MBA, I have SIM, before I have PhD, all in marketing, one person. But I still remember at the British Council taking those exams in case study and learning about the drip factors, differentiate, remind, inform, persuade, marketing, communicate, led by international marketing. I'm not saying academic is bad, though. I'm saying that the way marketing is evolving, you need to have a certain continuous professional development mindset to stay on top of metaverse, customer centricity, customer journey. You need to do it, emotional journey mapping. So please, last thing I want to say is that use data and technology to push the marketing agenda, not to confuse it. Because if data and technology are working for you, you must have a certain 360-degree customer data that is at the core of a seamless customer journey. That makes you create your integrated marketing technology stacks. And you are working with signalized data because as the customer idiosyncrasies change, because you have good data, you can change along with them. So to sum up, Kwabena, marketers must have a strong collaborator mindset as we go along. Customer experience is the new marketing. And marketers must be humble enough to understand that even given that we've come a long way, we still have a long way to go to bringing other members of the C-suite along to a certain unified marketing journey. I want to thank you so much for listening to me. And if you have any question at all in this world connected to marketing, I'm here for the next 10 minutes to listen to you and give you some sort of answer. Kwabena, thanks for hosting me, and I bring good news from Zimbabwe to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Robert Ebu Hinson. Charismatic and dynamic. A very good presentation. Marketers must have a strong collaborator mindset, pull the C-suite together. Customer experience is the new marketing. These are the little nuggets we can take. There's more to unpack. We shall take some questions. We'll take them in batches. So I see a hand up. Professor Madichi, kindly unmute and ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. Loud and clear. Very loud and clear.
Thank you, moderator. Thank you, Prof. Hinson. Excellent presentation. I mean, your favorite joint, by the way, that Nyamachoma joint in Kigali. Junkies.
Say hello to them for me.
And these guys are living up to the customer experience you talked about. They have some very interesting screens. I'm watching Brazil and Serbia while I'm listening to your presentation. So
Okay,
they've
sir.
introduced some kind of screens and attracted the non-traditional customers to the environment.
Absolutely.
Just a quick comment, because we are saying there are two things actually. You are talking about working in siloed communications, which actually calls for the need for an integrated marketing communication. Keyword, integrated marketing communication across all channels or your platforms. Very essential. And the second one is what you call internal marketing. Your employees or people that serve in your marketing departments cannot communicate your brand without that communication having been done in-house first and foremost. So you need the buy-in from an internal perspective before you can begin to think about marketing externally. That's just my general observation. Excellent presentation, customer service, customer experience. And if I have to ask a question, please, for the benefit of the audience, kindly distinguish between the customer service and customer experience, and possibly their points of intersections and points of divergence. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'll take one or two more and then I'll deal with them. Thank you.
Yeah.
The famous Agnes. Agnes, please, I'm greeting you. My boss, you can speak.
Okay, Prof. Very good presentation. Really, strong provocations. I think I have a question. I really want to get your thoughts on this one, which is, Richard Branson and some others have the belief that employees come first and customers second. They believe that if you take care of your employees, they'll naturally take care of your customers. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, madam, I agree irrevocably with him, not least because some of the most profound dislocations I've seen walking this terrain for 2 decades plus is the fact that so many organizations in public and private sector across the continent have employees who are not empowered at all. And that becomes a contradiction in terms when you commit $1 million to the marketing communication campaign, and then your trade people are weak, your front desk is weak. Basically, you have not empowered the troops, and then you think by some miracle, spending money would make it work. So I think that there should be a certain overt focus on empowering the internal troops as preparation towards delivering superior customer experiences. And that's why this collaborator mindset matters, because the marketing teams must then have a close liaison with the chaps in human capital, the chaps in customer experience to make the magic happen. So I totally agree with Richard Branson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Prof, you missed a question from Professor Medici on the difference between customer service and customer experience, where they converge and where they diverge.
That's not so difficult. The classic definition of customer service is when you are assisting somebody or you are helping somebody before the purchase, and then sometimes even after the purchase is consummated. So we see customer service more as, if you like, a cross-sectional intervention than what might be longitudinal. So with customer experiences, we are looking at the whole customer journey and then plotting this customer journey in such a way that we walk through the customer through the various facets of the interaction with the company. So it's not a one-off. So the most striking difference is that customer service is almost seen like a one-off, but customer experience has to do with all the issues regarding the full customer journey, and then mapping these through what you call an emotional journey mapping mechanism and working step by step to ensure that customer experience is strategic in orientation and is not just a one-time intervention. That's the basic difference. However, customer experience is a very fashionable thing now. But just to confess, since you're all my friends on this call, I have never quite conceptualized customer service as you find it in books or on the internet. If you Google the difference right now, what I've told you right now is what you find on the internet. I've always thought of customer service as a strategic tool and not just what you do in a call center. But hey, I will go what is written. And what is written is that one is more interventionist. It happens at a certain point. And one is more strategic in orientation and takes account of the full customer journey. So I've told you what you see in the books. But personally, honest to God, I've never really seen customer service as just what somebody tells you at the front desk. I've always thought it should be strategic. And Namdi, I don't know if you know about the 24-chapter book we did on customer service management in Africa like 2-3 years ago. That's the orientation we took. But the difference is that one is seen as interventionist, one is seen as long-term and strategic in nature. Thank you. Yeah, Namdi.
Yeah, I fully agree. I was just having a conversation with somebody asking about the two. Yes, you're quite right. Customer service is cross-sectional in terms of transactional, more like, and experience is the full work, which is more strategic. I think that's how I will conceptualize it. Yes, and I've read most of your books, including the sales management primer for Africa. Very interesting conversations, and I like your viewpoints. No matter how controversial they may be, I think it gives us something to reflect upon and begin to repackage and reconceptualize some of these terminologies. Thank you, sir.
Thank you too. Please, if you are here and I've taught you somewhere in this life, just say congrats, Prof, so that I can sleep better tonight. Don't, if you even ask a question, it will help me. Because I see some of you, I taught you, but you are here, I'm not saying anything. It's not fair.
Congrats, Prof. You're on fire.
Thank you.
Hello, Prof.
Yes, please.
Hello, Prof.
Yes, please.
This is Dr. Vivian.
Linda,
Congrats,
kindly
Prof.
hold on.
Hi, Vivian. Hi,
We
Vivian.
come back all the way to Lagos.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Madam CBG. Yeah, good to have you.
Yes,
God
please.
bless you. Okay. All right.
Congrats. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now they get 2 CPD points. Do I get some?
Yes, you do.
Thank you. Thank you. But how will you get the list of names? How will you organize it?
Teams record
Okay.
their attendees
Okay.
automatically.
Okay.
There's a hand up for you.
Okay. Whose hand is it, please?
I have
Prof,
Leila. Thank
my
you.
name is
Hey, Leila. There's a prof who's
before
again.
Leila.
Okay, Prof. Yes.
Prof.
Yes, Prof.
Leila, kindly allow Prof to speak before you come in. Prof, please go ahead.
Prof, your mic is on.
Okay, Leila, you can take the floor.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, colleagues and professors and market leaders and brand professors. Just to say congratulations to Professor Hinson. As usual, a very great presentation. It's always a masterclass with you. And the entire fraternity, we are proud of you. You know, we go way back from originate through Settle Shoes through first degree to master's degree. And I never get enough of your presentations. I'm grateful to the CIMG for this evening as well. And I look forward to meeting you in your office very soon. Thank you.
Thank you too. I'll come to yours. Thank you. Hey, Uncle George is here. Oh, my senior is here. Sir, please, it's good to have you.
Good evening, Prof. My name is George Under. I just want to say that I enjoyed the presentation. I wish that we could create more opportunities for people beyond marketing to actually enjoy some of these presentations, because for us who are professional marketers, it's like preaching to the converted. I guess the joy would be getting people that are non-core marketers to be experiencing some of these presentations as we are talking about customer experience, and 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 for them to really appreciate what marketing does to different sectors. It would be great. But so kudos, well done, and well done to CIMG for organizing this.
Thank you, George. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome, Prof.
Justice Sego.
Hello, Prof. Good evening. And
Good evening.
okay, Profs, thanks so much for the presentation and the insights that you've shared on the platform and all protocols observed on this platform. So I work with Lexego Ghana Savings and Loans. And Prof, I want to find out, I know there is this narration anytime it comes to marketing that it's quite expensive, and sometimes they tend to consume most of the budget of institutions. So many a time you find CEOs and shareholders always wanting to shy away from marketing because they see it as an expensive venture or activity. I want to find out from where you sit with your 2 decades experience, is there a way that we can make marketing efficient where we will not be scaring away CEOs and shareholders? I mean, to pump money into marketing. I mean, I want to find a viewpoint to change because then it becomes quite difficult. I know most of the times marketers are in a tight fix because they are not getting the budget to support the rollout of their budgeting activities, because I mean, shareholders and CEOs see it as expensive and they don't want to pump in money. How can we make marketing efficient and also still drive ROI? I mean, as you mentioned in your presentation.
But your digital marketing from Africa, I think she has a very decent budget, my friend. She's all over social media, sharing all kinds of campaigns. So I'm surprised that you would ask, but hey, I'm just joking. Don't mind me. Listen, the reason why we struggle sometimes with these budget issues. Am I there or did I leave? Kwabna, can you hear me?
You're on call.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, sir, the reason why sometimes we struggle with selling the value propositions is that when we go and appear, sometimes we appear with a number, just believing God in the presentation. That one is too work. If you like, talk to Agnes and George and the grandpa and grandfather marketers here. Every time we send a proposal, we must make a solid business case for it. Let me repeat. Every time we send a proposal, we must make a solid business case for it. I worked in the public sector for 20 years now, and I've been around. I've worked in other universities outside the country as well. And anytime I get there, one of the things I hear the most is, "Hey, Prof, you don't know. Me, I said this before. They said don't fund it, don't fund it." So I said, "Okay, tell me how you sent it." I told them we need this, we need that. I said, "Oh, even me on fund. But Prof, I thought you're a marketing guy." Yes, I'm a marketing guy, but we can't see what the value takeout is. If we spend X, what's the benefit in Y? And by the way, benefit is not always defined by profit. Sometimes all you need is a certain level of market penetration as a quantifiable outcome of a certain marketing investment. So, my brother, what we need to do as marketers is to go back and solidify our capacity to do business case. It's one skill that is not so. Maybe, Kwabna, you can do some other training. I don't know whether I'll do it or get somebody to do it on making a business case in market. You can get George and Agnes. They've probably done like 100 in their lifetime. Because anytime you send a budget, you must explain what the ROI will be, what the blessing will be, whether to enhance our route to market. You must show what it will do. Otherwise, my brother, they won't give us the money. So the simple answer is, let's strengthen our ability to make a business case when we are asking for marketing investments. Is that okay, sir?
Thank you so much, Prof.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure, sir. I see Esther Ghana and then Eric Ntiamwa.
Yes, good evening, Prof. Thank you for the great presentation. So for some of us, we are up and coming marketing professionals, and you're actually living the dream that we are hoping to live very soon. And my question is basically for practicing marketing in organizations that are not, let me say, fully sales-oriented or marketing-oriented companies. So you can actually think of any social enterprise that is trying to grow aggressively. What are some of the key things that set organization within the social enterprise space to focus on when it comes to marketing to be able to grow its business and then profitability?
Okay, that question is a little wide because I would have liked to understand a bit of the context in which that social enterprise is embedded, a clear sense of the organizational objectives of the social enterprise. I'll need to understand, for instance, what your funding model is looking like, and so on and so forth. So I would ask you to reach out to me maybe early next week, and I can give you a more nuanced response if I get a better sense of what your social enterprise is. Would that work for you?
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate your time. Dr. Abna Pokua.
Oh, do I have my hands up?
Yes, you do.
Hello?
You've had it up for a
Do
while.
I have my hands up? Hello?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Then it is a mistake, but let me say something. I came in very late, but I listened to your customer service and the what is it? Is it customer experience? I think that you made some juxtaposition in those two elements. And my thinking or my understanding about the customer service is to do with development. I think that it is about developing and identifying the needs and also the needs of the customers and transforming those needs into product and then delivering that required products for the customer. That is how I see the customer service delivery, in that context. And when it comes to the customer experience, I see it as actionable. It is an actionable something because it is talking about the totality, the total experience, of that customer. The customer needs to experience everything about the organization. And so all the activities leading to that experience the customer will derive from the organization. That is what makes that customer experience. And so I describe that also as actionable. So that is my thinking. I think these are the distinctions that we can actually say about customer service and then the customer experience, that the service should be something to develop, to identify the needs and then transforming them into product that will become very satisfactory to the customers. And in doing that, you have to deliver that product to the customers. And then the experience is the actionable, the things that you have to do in order for the customer to have that total experience from your organization. And so these are my thinking perspectives about the two issues that I came in to listen to.
Okay, thank you. Point well made. Thank you very much. Esther Ghana.
Thank you, Prof. Congratulations, Prof.
Thank you, Madam
I'm
Esther.
honored to be, even though not young, but a baby marketer. I work with Ghana Water Company Limited.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Prof. We happen to have marketing platform in Ghana Water. So one of our colleagues kept it and I saw it. So last week I joined, and today too I've joined. So I'm happy to be part of this group.
Congratulations again. It's particularly good to have you. Tomorrow, I'll be speaking on 5 customer experience mistakes to avoid in 2023. So if you can find a radio, catch me at 7:10 a.m. tomorrow on City FM. It's the 6th and the last in the series. So if you want to learn a bit more, 7:10 tomorrow morning, City FM, City Business Edition for 30 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Victor Kofi Adade.
Prof, thanks for your exposure this evening. I'm very grateful. My colleague just spoke, is talking about me, and I just thought I should come in and congratulate you for the good work that you are doing here in Ghana. I think, Mr. Jekum, this Saturday, I've been following your good works, and it's actually bringing us up. As my colleague has just said, we are new marketers with Ghana Water Company, and you gave us training at Coconut Grove the other time, and it was so excellent. Yeah, Prof, I think the moment I saw your flyer, I went to your profile and I just look at the short videos you've given, and it's actually giving us exposure. So we thank you for the good work, and we'll continue to learn from you. And probably, I know marketing will be established very soon in our organization, especially the public sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. I'm actually very impressed that Ghana Water Company would establish a marketing department. Keep pushing, don't stop. Well done. Prof, you raised your hand, you put it down. We heard your daughter or your son You are back. Prof, talk to us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Prof, thank you for the wonderful presentation. It seems to me that marketing orientation has been misconstrued. I want to find out that what can be done with CIMG collaboration with you to give the needed marketing orientation to Ghanaians, most especially in the public institutions and organizations.
Hey, as for this, your question, let me pass it on to Kwabna because given that I've been public sector for 20 years, I plead the fifth. I have no opinion. Kwabna, please, it's I should ask you that how will you go and foster market orientation in public sector? Kwabna, do your best to answer. As for this one, I don't have an opinion on it.
Thank you, Prof. My simple answer is that we have to collaborate. And we are seeking, we have had some courtesy calls with the Public Services Commission, and we would want to work to make sure this happens. Luckily, we have a member who is a qualified marketer who sits also as a commission.
Yes, I know him. So, he likes to wear nice blue shirts and red ties. I know him.
Yes, with the very flamboyant.
He's my friend. He likes braces too. I know him. He's my good friend. Yes.
So we would collaborate and make sure that we deliver. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Jordan.
We are so grateful.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Jordan. Ivy Ametri.
Hello, Prof.
Yes, Madam Ivy.
Yeah, I'm Ivy. I work at SIC Insurance. Looking at insurance penetration in the country now, how can the marketing CIMG, like marketing, collaborate with NIC so that the marketing insurance will grow? Because I see marketing in SIC, we have a marketing department, but I don't see the impact that is having in the organization. And the same thing is happening like the insurance industry in general. So how can we collaborate and then improve the penetration of insurance to broaden people's knowledge about insurance in the country? And I think it cuts across Africa. Market insurance penetration in Africa is, but I think marketing have to come in to educate the public about insurance. Thank you.
Thank you too. Kwabna, that's your cue. Courtesy call on National Insurance Commission. I think that will also be useful.
Yes, and the good thing is that last year we did the customer satisfaction index with the banks, with Bank of Ghana supporting, with Ghana Association of Banks supporting. Okay. This year we've commissioned one, NIC is supporting, and we are having Ghana Insurance Association also in principle supporting. So once we go to field, baby steps, we'll get there. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. George Robertson. Okay, Mr. Moderator, take it away. I think the hands are done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Hinson.
Sorry, can I interrupt, Mr. Moderator, please? Just a quick comment on the insurance question. Okay. Right, I was in a webinar earlier this afternoon, and when they talked about insurance, you cannot talk about insurance in broad terms. What insurance are we talking about? Are we talking about auto insurance, life insurance, health insurance? These are different categories of insurance. Some are mandatory and others are optional. So for you to get a definitive sort of answer and a sense of direction in terms of how to deal with that insurance question, you probably need to be a bit more specific. And besides, Professor Hinson, you might want to signpost the person that asked that question to our Star Insurance paper, where we talked about Star Assurance Limited in Ghana and market orientation. I think that's one of the key things we need to do in terms of clarifying. We need to be more specific rather than kind of bundling things and being generic, because we won't really move forward if we continue to be generic. Thank you. Just a thought. Thank you.
Point well made. I mean, I sat on the board of a life company for 7 years, so I know that insurance marketing can be fairly idiosyncratic. So yes, point well made. I will check back with Kwabena and Co, and then we'll see what gives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Robert Hinson, for that beautiful presentation and awesome responses. Also to guests on call, everyone that joined us to experience this wonderful presentation. We are grateful for your time spent with CING, spent with Professor Hinson. We will make the presentation available to everyone. The email, if you joined us without registering, you can share or request for it by sending me an email. I'll put my email address in the chat so that I can respond appropriately with the presentation. So we are most grateful to everyone, and we wish you all a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Small.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everyone.
Thank you. God bless you for this. Mr. Yekun, we want to be receiving more of this, please.